I've come to the fun fair. Well, not really. My idea of fun is doing this, the Cumbrian Way. And this is the official start of the Cumbrian Way, and that's supposed to represent a cairn. And I love the circle around it, which is actually representing a compass. And what you can see is the compass is marked appropriately. So we have east down here, and I love where south is. And over here we have west, and in fact that's where we're going, in a westerly direction. So as it says here, the start of the popular Cumbria Way, a 70-mile route to Carlisle, taking in much of the Lake District. So there's always that thing about not just looking where you're going, but where you've come from. So there you go, we can see Ulverston in the distance now. So we're making good, reasonable progress. And now we're going this way. And in fact over there now, we can just see the peaks of the Lake District peeping out. So one of the things I promised myself is that I would show you on the first part of the Cumbrian Way some of the points of where you just got to be careful with navigation. In fact, if you read any guidebook or read any blog or anything about the Cumbrian Way, they'll often say the first part of the navigation is tricky. And in fact, when I was walking down this road that you can see here behind me, the GPS carries on down the road, but in actual fact there's a sign here that's taking you over the fields, and it is the best way to go. So I'll show you any points that I think are particularly tricky. Now I think what happens here is you kind of concentrate on going down the road, and the actual signpost is there off to the right. But if you keep going, like I say, the signpost is there. It does only say public footpath rather than Cumbrian Way, but the gate here, somebody's helpfully painted on Cumbrian Way. Well, for some reason these cows have taken an interest in me. Hi guys, are you doing the Cumbrian Way as well? Okay. So, yeah, when you get through this field, you need the right gate. And ultimately, we're heading down over to that farm. There you go, I thought I'd show you on the GPS what's happening. So you can see I'm following that dotted line, whereas the red line is, according to this, the way that you should go. but in actual fact the official route is the dotted line that I'm following, and it's the same on the Harvey's map that I've got as well, the dotted line. So just be aware, particularly if you use old trails, for some reason they kind of go the roundabout way. So here we're going on that field over towards the farm over there. So you can see my footsteps in the wet grass, and this is the corner we're heading towards. It's not totally obvious where you're going. Now here's one to look out for. It's just off to the right here. You could quite easily be kind of wandering over here, but yeah, need to watch out for in the middle of the wall. So what's the plan this morning, I can hear you asking? Yeah, I can really hear you asking that. So the idea is that I started from Ulverston, which is back behind me an hour or two ago, and I'm trying to get to Coniston, which is roughly about 15 miles away. I'm not sure you can see it, but over in that direction I can actually see the sea, and then ahead of me is St. John's Chapel, which we kind of go past, and it's just in the middle of some fields, which obviously I will show you. So as you can see here, Kiss Gates, that one in particular, was particularly tight, and one of the differences of the Cumbria Way is there are lots of quite ancient Kiss Gates and styles and wall styles to get over, so good encouragement for you to pack light. And in fact this morning I think I've got about 10 kilo, but yeah, good reminder, pack light. So I was just thinking, when I said 10 kilos, I must point out that's including food and water. So my base weight is probably about 8 kilos, and that's driven by the fact we are now towards the end of October. So yeah, I've got extra clothes and obviously a 4-season tent as well now. Right, we're approaching St. John's Church now. Nice piece of side garden as we're approaching Broughton Beck. So you definitely have to be careful here. Very tempting to go over that slab there, over the stream. Well, in actual fact, keep a look out to the left. On the little statue that we've got there. Feeling hungry? Yeah, they're all over the field. I suspect somebody's been feeding their cattle with these. Looking at some of the bite marks. Okay, that metal gate, just when I went through it, it's just standing free. Fell on the back of my calf, which really hurt. However, it did draw to my attention, so maybe it was intentional. Yeah, the gatepost here. You can see it's got 3 holes in it, and you look opposite. We kind of got the same again. So yeah, originally that would have been just 3 poles put across, which in actual fact I think would be a little bit friendlier. I could use the style then. But those, it's not often you actually see those. Yeah, and it could be as old as, I don't know, 300-400 years old. That's how we used to do gates. Certainly in Cumbria. So here's another one where there's a definite chance that you can miss the footpath. Especially if you're kind of looking upwards. There is a little sign, but don't necessarily get distracted by the sign for Cumbria Farm. It's a little sign on the floor, which obviously you don't often see. Going up here, and as we come up here we actually avoid the stile on the left, because of course we're going upwards. Oh, oh dear, I think someone copped it there. Oh. So right in the distance we can see our first glimpse of Coniston now. Still quite a few miles to go before we get there, but it's nice to see the actual target. So we're just starting to see more of the mountains come into view. Just directly ahead is Coniston Old Man. So in theory, as we get over the lip of here, we should see Beacon Tarn, which has been one of my objectives for the day, so I can have lunch. Oh yes, I can see it. And you will soon. There you go. So this is Beacon Tarn, and beautiful it is too. Just kind of finishing off my lunch, and then I'll be on my way. Plan is to get to Coniston Water, and then into the village itself, and probably trying to get over to Tarn House. I think I'll possibly do a wild camp there. We've just got to see how the day kind of transpires. Might grab a sneaky pint at Coniston. But again, see how we go on and how I feel. This is absolutely beautiful. Just sat here in the sun, out of the wind, admiring the views. Okay, that's bye to Beacon Tarn. That there is Beacon Fell. And now we're on our way to Coniston Lake, Coniston Village. But right in the background there is Coniston Old Man. So this is Sunnybank Jetty for the Coniston launch, which actually would be abound here in about half an hour or so. Apparently you stand here, raise one hand and wave and they'll come and pick you up. But I'm dedicated to my job of walking. Ooh. So at the south end of the lake, and we've got to walk to Coniston village, probably about 4 miles that way along the shore, I'd imagine. So I guess that'll be an hour or so. Oh boy, that looks tempting. Come and join me. So we're now getting to the outskirts of Coniston. Yeah, we're not far from Coniston now. So the plan is, get in there, pint of Coniston Old Man, pack of crisps maybe, and then go to the shop afterwards, stock up on bounties I think, maybe a Mars bar, and then yeah, get on to Tarn House, spend the night there, and that'll be about, I think it's about 17.5 miles, something like that, which is kind of what we need to do for to get the job done in 4 days. So there you go, that was a pint of Old Man Coniston in the Black Ball Hotel, 16th century. So it's pretty old. Right, we best get back on the road. Oh, and the other thing to note, of course, is that the beer is brewed round the back. So it's all their own brew.